Steve Bowers and
Jordan Dyer.
Welcome you to 6 in the City. We're about to wrap up April.
I know.
This coming Friday night, that's right, April 25th, Marcus Scott's coming in to open the AMP series. So here we go. We're launching into spring, headed to summer.
Let's do it.
Getting ready to go right now. What about this show?
Yes, we're excited for this show. We've got a change of pace in our music. Midlife Riot is coming on. We're also going to talk to them about their band accomplishment and upcoming projects that they have. We're also going to hear from Union University and the Hub City Innovation Cup.
Yes.
From the winners,
the winning teams
top
here.
2 teams. We're going to hear from Matthew Martin, and he's going to talk a little bit about a fish rodeo. I have no idea what that is, but I'm very excited to hear what that means. Lisa Reasons with a birth choice announcement. Dr. Margaret Taylor with the 2nd annual car show, and also we're going to hear from Tony Burris, who is the director of the Jackson Area Community Bands.
Along with George Gooch.
Yeah.
All right.
They're Celebrate America Symphonic Winds.
That's right. Coming up May the 5th. Got it lined up ready to go, so stay right where you are. We're about to kick off this 6 in the City.
Hi, I'm here to ask the people of Jackson to be a part of a groundbreaking program, 4 Minute City.
Every minute you don't get help after a sudden cardiac arrest, your chance of survival decreases by 10%.
That's why Friends of Heart and the Jackson Fire Department have created a care team.
A group of everyday citizens trained, equipped, and ready to save lives in our community.
Please call this number or visit our website.
Together, we can save lives.
Every 3 years, the American Public Power Association recognizes public power companies that demonstrate proficiency in reliability, workforce development, safety, and system improvements. The recognition, RP3. The highest level RP3 is the Diamond RP3. In 2023, JEA's Electric Division received the Diamond RP3 Award for the 8th consecutive time. This never happened before, but it's JEA today. Tired of internet that leaves you waiting and monitoring your usage with extra fees? Switch to EPlus Broadband from the Jackson Energy Authority for fiber optic internet with the fastest speeds to keep everyone connected. Enjoy being online as much as you want without worrying about extra fees or data usage limits. Perfect for when you need to download and upload large files, stream videos, or use your favorite video conferencing app. EPlus Broadband, fastest internet, no data caps, no slowdowns, no worries.
Our performers today will be Midlife Riot. We're about to meet them. Mike Robinson, David Barber, Edward Melton, and Jalen Douglas. Good to have you guys here.
Thanks for having us.
All right. When I think Midnight Riot, I'm thinking we're not doing soft shoe country or something. What are we doing here?
We are all about Americana and rockabilly, except not really. We're much more of a prog rock / metalcore / Midwest emo, screamo type of band.
Okay.
So you're your own genre.
Many would
Or
say
combination
that.
of.
Let me put it like this. When we first got the call to come on the show, my first question was, have you heard us and are you sure? Yeah. But we're excited to be here and glad for the
So
opportunity.
get the earplugs out. Let's get ready to go.
I brought my own.
All right, so how did this get organized here?
Well, Eddie and I have played in bands together in the past. We have done the whole 4-hour typical cover band bar gig type of thing. But the thing that kind of bothered us about that is it takes away from the creativity as a musician. We just like to make music. So we stopped doing that type of thing and put together our own project to just make what we liked, and hopefully a few other people will like it too. If not, we all have day jobs, but we just enjoy creating music that we enjoy, and hopefully bring a few people with us.
How did all of you meet?
That's a good question. Well, this guy, we just met him a few months ago because our bass player stepped down. He had some things going on that he had to take care of. I've known Eddie for many moons, and David, well, we actually worked at the same clinic for a while.
Okay. Y'all from Jackson or this area? Or
I am.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. All your life, pretty much here?
48 years and counting.
Yeah,
Okay.
all my life, Henderson, technically, but yes.
All right, so you made the decision to go from a cover band, working regular shows, to trying to, you write, compose your own stuff?
We do. Yes,
okay.
sir.
All right, so what prompted that? You said just the creativity you felt like was getting away.
That's really it. As you play in the cover bands, there's a lot more opportunities and places that you can play and make pretty decent money for it. But if you like to create, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but it does something to you on the inside to not be able to create and do nothing but play other people's music for the rest of your life.
And doing cover stuff is just not something I personally am that interested in. I joined their cover band for 3 gigs, and I said, this isn't for me. And so whenever he said, hey, do you want to do some original stuff, that really was interesting.
Now, I do want to say that for those who are in cover bands, Jalen, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, gosh, I grew up playing in the symphony, and that's all we played was covers because that's what you do. But as a creative, we just needed more of a creative outlet.
But you're willing to take the hit in income loss, right, to do this?
I mean, this is not something that we necessarily do for income. Now, we make some here and there, but it's not something that we depend on to eat. So,
What instruments do you all play?
I'll play them all, but for this particular project, I play guitar and sing.
Guitar is all I can play.
I play the bass.
Drums.
Does anybody sing?
I do. I
Scream?
use that term sing loosely. There are some melodics in there.
Okay, so more screaming than singing.
Actually more singing than screaming, but there
Okay.
is some.
All right, so some
What
of
about performances? How often are you performing?
Not
as a
that
group?
much, just because, as I said, there's not a lot of opportunities for original acts in this area. We did play this past weekend at the Hemp Fest and shared the stage with some friends, and that was a really great time. We've played a few shows last year. We hope to have more opportunities this year, but I do believe that we'll have to look outside of this area. And I understand that from the business perspective, the typical bar or venue, they need to be able to guarantee a return on investment. And we're really looking for something that's more focused on musicians as a first-class citizen, if that makes sense, as opposed to us interrupting someone's dinner. I mean, it really wouldn't be right, in my opinion, for us to just try to go and play at these restaurants. You know? It's not the right place for it. We do like to be respectful.
All right. Are you recording?
Always.
Okay.
And you have your own studio to do that?
That I do.
Wow.
So are you releasing product as you go then?
Yes, I do like to release singles as opposed to the album just because that's how people consume music these days. If you focus more on the singles, you've got a steady flow of new material to put out frequently, whereas if you put out an album, you may have to wait a year or two before you can put something else out again, and you lose relevance pretty quickly.
Okay.
And when you say put it out there, what do you mean by that?
Just publishing songs, putting it out for streaming.
So on streaming platforms?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It's called Midlife Riot. Midlife Riot. Mike Robinson, David Barber, Edward Melton, and Jalen Douglas. We'll hear from them in the next segment as we continue this
Six in the City.
A water system includes everything from wells to water storage to water lines to treatment, with constant lab testing to ensure water safety. Every 2 years, the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation performs an unannounced on-site audit and evaluation of every facet of a water system. Perfect score, $5.99. In 2024, JEA, for the 4th consecutive inspection, received a $5.99. 8 years of perfect water system scores. That's JEA today.
My name's Graham and I'm 6.
Graham is a very active little boy. When he was 2 months old, he got diagnosed with a temporary platelet disorder, and we just really had kind of a miracle story of him rebuilding his platelets. Receiving a blood donation, it saved his life and gave him time to, for his body to sort out and heal.
Please help kids like me give today.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello? That's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
The Hub City Innovation Cup has been underway for the last many years here in Jackson, Tennessee, sponsored by the Jackson Energy Authority, hosted by Union University, and it has drawn teams from the colleges and universities in this area. I want to take a couple of segments to introduce you to the winners of this competition this year and talk about the theme of this. Colleen Trent is with us from Union. And Colleen, the theme of this year's competition was?
Yes, we invited students to think about innovative ways to help the Jackson community, and the task was to think about how to help small businesses thrive.
Okay. Survive and thrive, right?
Survive and thrive, absolutely.
Okay. You had how many teams this year?
We had 11 teams this year. It was great participation.
So it was very, very good.
Right.
So how do you describe this competition to people who've never seen it?
We describe it as a Shark Tank-like experience. So it's a pitch competition. They have 24 hours. They don't know the prompt until they come to the orientation. They hear, oh, we're here to talk about small business. They go off into teams and they work for the next 24 hours, and then they present their ideas to a panel of judges and experts.
Okay, and it's how to use the technology that's many ways has been unique to Jackson, Tennessee through JA's Telecom to accomplish this. If you will introduce these members of this team.
Yes, this is our winning team, and they received a $3,000 award that was sponsored by Jackson Energy Authority. So I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hello, my name is Brandon Jordan.
Hi, my name is Eston Yandel.
And my name is Madison Woolridge.
Okay. What got y'all interested in entering this?
I guess at first I wasn't thinking of entering it at all until my buddy Eston brought it up. So then we needed to find one more, and I knew I had done presentations with Brandon before, so we put the team together.
Are y'all business majors or what kind of majors?
I'm cybersecurity major.
I'm also a cybersecurity major.
And I'm a computer science major.
All right.
Okay. Are all the teams of 3?
Not all of them. There was a few teams. I think we may have 1-4. I know we had 1-5 for sure. But it was about 3 to 5 people per team.
But you choose your own team.
Correct.
So y'all knew, like, this is my team. This is who I'm going to work with.
You start dividing prize money too, so we don't need a 9-member team.
That's true.
Yeah, 3 members, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Pretty good.
All right.
So I think the main question here is, what did y'all come up with?
Yeah, so I can take this one. We came up with something called the HERC system, which stands for the Health Information Regulatory Compliance System, which basically all that means is it's an LLM that's trained by experts in order to automate the auditing process for small healthcare industry clinics, whether that's a pediatric clinic, whether that's a physical therapy clinic, and it helps them stay within HIPAA compliance and regulation, and it just saves them a lot of money doing so, because it's pretty expensive.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to come up with that? You hit and then they dropped the theme on you, and so it's like, what do we do next?
So at first we got into our room, and then he took a minute to show up. So it was just us two at first. Okay. And we sat there and we knew that people were going to think of apps and websites. So we tried to think outside the box. And we have a lot of knowledge in like softwares and then, like he said, software as a service. So we figured no one else would come up with that. So we came up with that one first. Then we thought about what companies and small businesses may struggle with. And being as though it takes us 4 years to figure out what NPIs and stuff mean, we figured that would be helpful for small businesses. So then we went from there. Maybe about 30 minutes, but not too long. Not too long then.
So you started fleshing it out how then?
So some of that kind of was with the experts that were provided. So we kind of came up with this idea, and then as we kind of pitched it to other people to see, is this something that actually would be interesting and beneficial to small companies? And that's kind of when we were able to really refine our idea, because at first we wanted to do all the different compliances, so like PCI and stuff like that. But then we had a really great recommendation from one of those experts saying, here, why don't you start with one and then expand out from there? So we chose HIPAA because it's one of the more complicated ones that changes pretty regularly. And there's a lot of healthcare related businesses in the Jackson area. So we thought that's what would be most applicable for Jackson.
Overall, the experience was good?
Absolutely.
It was fantastic.
So you'd recommend it to others then?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Right. It's very good to have you on this show.
Thanks.
Thanks for having us.
Very much. We got another team that's going to be coming up here in our next segment as well. Well, we talked to these guys. Right now, we're going to go to the stage, cover our ears, and here we're going to turn them loose. This is Midlife Riot.
Jackson got electric streetlights in 1887. Electricity expanded with the Suburban Street Railway Company. And in 1897, Suburban switched from horse-drawn cars to electric. The company became the Jackson Railway and Light Company. Streetcars plus electric power for homes. Power for home lights was turned on at 6 p.m. and turned off at 10 p.m. After that, go back to gas or kerosene, but it was another step toward JEA today.
For 9 years, the READ team has helped over 2,200 second graders read better through coaching and friendships. Students have increased their word recognition by as much as 300%. Reading on grade level opens the door for Google searches, driver's licenses, and career opportunities. Invest 1 hour a week to give our second graders every chance to read on grade level. Go to thereadteam.org to sign up. The READ Team, changing our community one word at a time. In partnership with JMCSS, Leaders Education Foundation, and United Way of West Tennessee. But you already knew that because you can read.
For the most reliable drinking water supply at the highest quality, reach for the tap. Our tap water is safe and continues to exceed all government requirements. For more information about our drinking water, visit www.jaxenergy.com/JEACCR.
Move over. It's the law. When approaching work vehicles or crews, move over to create a safety zone. It protects utility workers, law enforcement, firefighters, and emergency personnel. It's not an option. Slow down. It could save a life. Stay safe. Move over.
We'll be back with more from Midlife Riot coming up in a few minutes, but Colleen Trent is still with us from Union University. We're talking about the Hub City Innovation Cup, which is a competition, tech-based competition. Theme this year was helping small businesses not only survive but thrive using in part the technology provided through the Jackson Energy Authority. Who judges this?
We had several community experts who came to devote their time, but we also had a panel of very experienced judges. So we had the manager of the local Chick-fil-A, we had people from Master Medical Equipment. We just had a variety we had 5 judges who were very skilled in entrepreneurship and helping small business.
Okay.
So
we met one team, we're meeting another one here. If y'all introduce yourselves.
My name is Gabe,
Okay.
and I handle the logistics of the thing.
Okay.
I'm Maeve Dolan.
My name is Dale Dyer.
All right. So what was your theme or project?
So we decided to create an app, not necessarily to be the end-all be-all solution for small businesses, but instead to be a help for them starting up. We asked around to a lot of small businesses in the area and outside of the area, and we discovered that one of the biggest complaints they have or issues they have starting is regulations. Different sort of certifications that they might need, regulations for how to run their business, just all these different licenses that they might require. So we came up with the idea for an app called Regulate, which compiles all of these into one database and recommends you can think of it as a checklist for a business owner to look at and then eventually be able to check off all the different regulations that they require.
Do all small businesses have to go through the same regulations and certifications?
Certainly not. It's almost always unique for each small business. There are certain ones that are required for all small businesses or for a large portion of them. But for most small businesses, it is very unique to their own style.
What was it like presenting this idea to the judges?
It was actually quite fun. 24 hours is not a lot of time to make a full presentation, and so we were sort of cutting it down to the last minute. Fortunately, we were able to get the slides presented and compiled easily.
Right. How long did it take you to come up with the idea? You walk in, they drop this theme on you, and you go, okay.
For how long it took, it was around the first few hours that we finally nailed down our idea when it comes to make an app when it comes to regulations.
Okay. And then to go to the data. Put together the data for those apps. And what are the sources for that then?
So
where we would get our sources from is we would get all these laws from the U.S. government, and we would then therefore use an AI to. The AI will go through all these regulations and assign each law or regulation parameters, which once the person puts in their information about their business into the app, this app will then bring out the regulations that is needed for that specific business.
Okay, that makes a little more sense. then.
It essentially curates a database.
Yeah.
So the AI runs through each individual regulation that we feed it and sorts it into a certain list of parameters. And then the small business can list the parameters for their business, and it just finds all the...
Certainly makes sense. Run through your majoring in.
I am majoring in computer science.
Okay.
I am cybersecurity.
Okay.
I'm also computer science.
Okay, great. Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Was it a positive experience?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Will you do it again?
Oh, yes, next year.
Okay, next year.
Great.
Go out to the next step in the money. It's good to have you here. Colleen, thanks for sharing this. Innovation, how long has this been going on? Innovation Cup has been going on for several years
Probably
now.
about 6 or 7 years
Yeah,
now.
it's been a real mainstay. So
I love it.
anyway, glad to have you here and congratulations. Continue your best on your collegiate and business career. We're going back to the main stage, as we say. This is Midlife Riot. Midlife Riot, the stage is yours.
How do we escape this hell when the rain of war has drenched the ground like lies that brought us down this path again? Welcome death as our friend with a stain of red upon your canvas, slain beneath the countless as the sand. How do we devolve to this? It's death and life, it's life and death. It's nothing left, it's meaningless, it's all the same. The never-ending dialogue without as much conversation. We're traveling in formations, the rising sun upon our backs. We march as kings command, with mission, objective, conflicts with prime directive, introspective, dramatic conclusions from every perspective. This life I live is not my own. This life I take will be my own. This battlefield becomes my home. We march forsaken and alone. It's all the same. The never-ending dialogue. We'll march it into the light. We're traveling in formation, the rising sun upon our backs. We march as kings command, with mission, objective, conflicts with prime directive, introspective, dramatic conclusions from every perspective. The never-ending dialogue without as much conversation.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
She was a black female singing country music in the 1970s. Moving to Nashville in 1974, she signed with Johnny Howard and 50 States Records. They recorded different textures of country music, but hit the magic with a contemporary country song in 1977, You've Got to Mend This Heartache. It not only charted Billboard Country, in October 1977, it charted Top 40. Her real name? Not Ruby Falls, Bertha Bearden Dorsey. She was born and spent her early life in Jackson, Tennessee. Welcome back to Six in the City. Margaret Taylor's with us. Good to see you.
Good to be here.
We're talking. Margaret Taylor's involved in a lot of different things, so you see her on the show several times because she represents different organizations, like Jackie Utley does. You know,
Yep.
Jackie's involved in a lot of different things, and so it's good to have you with us.
Thank you.
So we got a special project. We got a car show coming.
Our second
Coming up
annual
this
car
Saturday, the
show.
26th.
Yeah, it's going to be great. We're looking forward to it. No rain. Mo says no rain, so I
Okay.
believe Mo,
All
and
right.
so I'm trusting
So
him.
Mo says it rains out of here by Saturday.
That's it.
Okay. What time does it start?
10 o'clock, from 10 to 2.
Okay.
So we're just asking people to come out. If you've got a car you want to show, it's only $25 to show your car. And we're going to be awarding the first top, the top 20 is what it's called.
Okay.
And so we'll be doing that at the end of the day and everything. But last year, it was really nice. It was just severely hot last year
Okay.
because we had it in July.
Oh, wow.
And we nearly died. So we
Okay.
decided to try April this year.
We're going to talk about the reason for the show is going to be held on the parking lot, city parking lot, at the corner of College and Highland.
Highland, yes.
It's right here in the kind of the JA complex area, there, the Tenergy building and all that.
I think it's a
right there.
great location.
Good location.
Yeah, people can see it from the street really easily. We should have some signs out there directing you if you don't. So, but yeah, it's going to be fun, and we're doing all this to support the boxing club.
Okay.
The boxing club is one of our projects that we support.
And we is the equity.
The Jackson Equity Project.
Which is what?
It's a nonpartisan organization to support and advocate for those in Jackson that are marginalized or disenfranchised in our community.
Okay.
And we know we have people like that, so we want to support those people. And the boxing club is located actually in Lincoln Court. And so it's there and available. And Obie Beard, everybody knows Obie, he's our trainer. And so he trains these young people. It's more to boxing than just boxing. Boxing is a sport. And so for any sport, you got to train. You've got to be in shape. And so it teaches a lot of discipline. It teaches you to listen, because you've got to listen to instruction. These kids are jumping rope, they're running, they're doing sit-ups, they're doing a little bit of everything. And all of that is important before you get in the ring. And so we're hoping that we can instill some pride in them and their ability to do the right thing in our community versus turn into those things that are available to them that might, cause harm or whatever. It's so much better to be able to keep these kids off the street. And the boxing club is from 3 to 6 every afternoon. So we're just looking forward to, continuing our support of the boxing club.
How old are these kids that are involved in it?
From 9 to 18.
Okay.
So at a great age when, if you're not in a sport like football or basketball where you got a whole team.
Right.
This is something you can do yourself. And like I said, it takes a lot of skill. And so you're learning that skill. You're learning a skill. There are boxing scholarships for kids. There's all kinds of things that you can do when you have a sport in your back pocket. So
Does he bring equipment with him?
we've got a whole ring. Oh yeah, we got a ring, everything. We got the heavy bags. We've got jump ropes. We've got treadmills. We've got a little bit of everything. But the ring is a regulation-size ring.
Oh, wow.
And so they're getting in there, yes, putting on the helmets and putting on the boxing gloves.
Oh, so this is contact, like
Yeah.
they're with each other.
Yeah,
Okay.
at some
real
point.
deal.
At some
Yeah,
point, yeah.
These
They
guys
don't
are
start
trying to
out
get
that way, but yeah,
these
at
guys are
some
trying
point.
to get the golden gloves and everything else. Yeah. All right, so the car show 10 till 2. You start registration at 9 or whatever.
We're starting registration at 9:30. So,
9:30,
yeah, just
okay.
come on out and get registered and, find your parking space.
So it's just kind of open class. Top 20 will be recognized.
is.
That viewers' choice or judges or a combination of? Or?
It's actually they choose. I mean, they will be choosing by their top 20 is the first 20 that gets there.
Okay.
So they actually make that choice. So it depends
Okay.
on how fast they want to get there.
All right. So get everything lined up, ready to go. The car show is this Saturday, the 26th. Starts at 10, registration 9:30, right downtown at College Street and North Highland.
That's it.
For the Equity Project and the Boxing Club.
Yes, for the boxing club.
It's good to see you.
Good to
Always.
be here. Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
All right. We're going to be back. We got more things to do. We're going to talk to Lisa Reasons, and that is coming up. That's coming up next as we continue this Six in the City.
It stands out in the landscape. It's the newest and largest water tank in the JEA system. Located northeast of McKellar-Sipes Airport, it holds 2.5 million gallons of water. Construction costs just shy of $4 million, but it will supply water and the water pressure necessary to sustain fire hydrants in an expanding industrial and commercial area of Jackson. Meeting needs and building for the future, all a part of JEA today.
That's my neighbor, Joe. Hey, Joe. Hey, John. Joe's about to make a very big mistake. Hey, Joe, you think it might be a good idea to call 811 to have your underground utilities marked before you start digging?
John, that's just for big projects.
Actually, it's for any digging project. Hey, congratulations, Joe. You found your electric line. Remember, safe digging always begins with a free call to 811. You want to borrow my phone, buddy?
Mom was always very self-sufficient, but we started noticing things were off.
I was forgetting my responsibilities at work.
I told Mom we should visit a doctor.
Alzheimer's. It was hard to hear that.
Early detection gave us time to seek information and support as a family. I've never felt more connected with Mom.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Welcome back to Six in the City. We'll be featuring Midlife Riot coming up in just a few minutes. Talking with Lisa Reasons from Birth Choice about a significant addition to what they're doing. Before we get there, let's go back and reacquaint everybody with what Birth Choice does.
Yes, so Birth Choice has been around for 36 years, and they are a pro-life crisis pregnancy center, and they offer free pregnancy tests, ultrasounds. They have parenting classes, fatherhood classes for women that choose to go through the abortion. They offer post-abortion classes to help with that healing, and they are there just to support for whichever decision.
The motivation, is it fair to say the motivation is try to get a pregnancy carried to term, right?
Well, there's never any pressure
Right,
for
I understand
anything.
that, yeah.
And so they offer education about parenting, abortion, and adoption, and now it will just be, more with that, but pure education about each.
And then they just make their own decision.
And then support them whichever way they
Okay.
choose. Mm-hmm. Yes.
So with the adoption route, tell us first how this came about.
Yes, so the founder, Brent Lambert, he and his wife, the whole reason Birth Choice came about is when they were in the adoption process years ago is how all of this came about. And so it's kind of full circle. And it was just something he felt led to do a little over a year ago, and they went through the process, and then I came on, and the past couple months I've been in the process of obtaining licensure from the state, and we are close to having that. And then
So you'll actually move into the adoption business process.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, we will be an adoption agency, and we will be the 6th pro-life crisis pregnancy center in the nation, and the only actual agency between Memphis and Nashville.
What does that change then as far as the requirements of the organization to move into adoption?
It is a very long list of requirements that we've had to meet with the state. And so it's a very long list, and we're very close to having that. And then we will then begin working on the processes of how the actual domestic adoptions, what is needed, what are the requirements, and then hope to be ready by June.
Can you give us an overview? I don't know if we're ready for that yet, but if you have the information, can you give us an overview of sort of what it looks like for both the birth mom and the adoptive parents?
Yes. So in the adoption triad, it's birth mother, adoptive parent, and the adoptee. And so with us, it is very important. I'm adopted, my son's adopted. It is very important that we focus on all three. And so it's just not, a focus on the baby and the adoptive parents, but just as much about that expectant mother, birth mother. And so we're there with them through the entire 18 years. With every adoption will be from openness to fully open. And so we will help navigate and mediate that with them. The adoptive parents will send in updates, and we, of course, will hold on to those if she's not ready to receive them. And at whatever point the birth mother is ready to receive those, we pass those along. If she wants to have a meeting, we set up and mediate that along with them for the entire 18 years. And the great thing, Birth Choice is nonprofit. And so with us, it'll be a sliding scale for the adoption fees. And so there will be a minimum and a maximum, but also with those prospective parents that are in the process, the local churches and individuals can give directly to those families through Birth Choice in order to help offset those costs as well.
Okay. And you expect this to launch in June, right?
Well, we've already made the official announcement, but we hope to have everything in place by then to begin the home studies.
Okay.
We've had quite a few reach out since the official announcement inquiring about adoption.
So is this open adoption process, is that pretty unique to I mean, it's not done all the time, obviously.
It's not done all the time. It's more and more common now.
Okay. Which is a big change in the adoption process.
Well, it's more common. Back in decades ago, no one talked about it. Everything was closed.
Yeah.
It's a lot more common now.
In the Mid-South, we had Georgia Tan, and that's another story.
That's a whole nother story. Nothing of that sort. No one's pressured, of course. And
we appreciate it very much.
Yes,
it's good,
thank you.
Good to see you,
Thank
Lisa.
you.
Appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
We're going back to the main stage. We welcome once again Midlife Riot. Stage is yours.
Was a cold January day when we left them swimming in an ocean of doubt, immersed in endless thought. We judged us in their stowaways, and we burned their ships, left them burning in the night, fates to decide, and we've taken their gold aboard our vessels, leaving sailors to the deep. Captain must go down with his ship, and we're too far from the shores to reach salvation. Our homeland inside, the stars be our guide, our destination. Conquest in our veins, the raven's eyes on overwatch, let freer light our path. The elder gods of the nine worlds, allow our fates to intersect. Who are you to defy us? May your bloodshed define us, and may Valkyries protect us, and our exploits be legends. May your weapons be useless, and your prayers go unanswered. Be us fearless berserkers, the wolf symbol upon us, as they fall before us, and the All-Father call us. We hail from the north, wind at our backs. There's no turning back. The new land become our home, so burn it all to the ground. Fates do as they will. Hands to the sun. They see us on the horizon. Pray to their gods to descend up on us.
That's my neighbor, Joe. Hey, Joe.
Hey, John.
Joe's about to make a very big mistake. Hey, Joe, you think it might be a good idea to call 811 to have your underground utilities marked before you start digging?
John, that's just for big projects.
Actually, it's for any digging project. Hey, congratulations, Joe. You found your electric line. Remember, safe digging always begins with a free call to 811. You want to borrow my phone, buddy?
Jackson got electric streetlights in 1887. Electricity expanded with the Suburban Street Railway Company. And in 1897, Suburban switched from horse-drawn cars to electric. The company became the Jackson Railway and Light Company. Streetcars plus electric power for homes. Power for home lights was turned on at 6 p.m. and turned off at 10 p.m. After that, go back to gas or kerosene, but it was another step toward JEA today.
For the most reliable drinking water supply at the highest quality, reach for the tap. Our tap water is safe and continues to exceed all government requirements. For more information about our drinking water, visit www.jaxenergy.com/JEACCR.
Move over. It's the law. When approaching work vehicles or crews, move over to create a safety zone. It protects utility workers, law enforcement, firefighters, and emergency personnel. It's not an option. Slow down. It could save a life. Stay safe. Move over.
Matthew Martin is with us, and he is the Executive Director of the Madison County Parks and Recreation Department. How many parks do we have in Madison County? Outside the city of Jackson, how many parks do you actually operate?
Right now we've got 9, and we've got one more coming soon.
Which is?
The Tally Park, which officially it's Eva, May, Greer, and Van Lawson Tally Park.
Okay.
It's out on St. John's
Where's it going to be?
Road.
Where is it?
St. John's Road.
Okay.
Which is out in the Denmark area.
All right. So a lot of people are not going to know any of the parks that you're talking about unless they've been involved with athletics or something.
That's true.
So what are the 8 other parks that you've got?
We've got Bourne, which is our premier park with ball fields, football fields, playgrounds, a splash pad coming in spring of 26.
Okay. And that's in the Oakfield area, right?
That's in Oakfield.
Okay.
We got Pope, which is where my office is, which is softball fields, playgrounds, walking trails, things like that. We've got 2 Civil War historical parks, Salem Cemetery, which you're familiar with, and Britton Lane, which is out in the Denmark area as well. We've got Chigger Ridge on the cover of our newsletter, which is the best kept secret in Jackson. Right down the road from that, we've got Young Equestrian Center with a brand new equestrian center, playgrounds, climbing walls, biking trails. We've just got so much. We got Beach Bluff, which is our community center that we're renovating right now.
Right now, okay.
Right now, and new playground and pavilion is going out there. The pavilion got finished today.
Fantastic, just in time for spring.
Is there a social page like Facebook that somebody can get on and follow and see updates and information?
We
about
have a
these parks?
Facebook page. I would love for anybody to follow it. We lost it a couple months ago. It got hacked and deleted,
Oh,
so
no.
Wow.
we lost
And
2,500
it's Madison County
followers.
Parks and Recreation, is that the
Yeah,
title?
if
of
you
it?
Google Madison County Parks, Tennessee, you should find our
Should find
Facebook
it.
page.
Now, you say Cherry Ridge is one of the best kept secrets. What's special about it?
Well, it's a 30-acre pond that's full of fish, and it's quiet. Nobody goes to it. It's off the beaten path, and
It's out south.
It's like a miniature state park.
Okay.
Is this where the fish rodeo is?
No, the fish rodeo is at our equestrian center. We've got big fish, and we're going to saddle them up.
What?
And you can ride.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Our fish rodeo, I wasn't here when they named it that, so I don't know where we came up with that, but we do not saddle fish.
Aw.
I was waiting to say that, though.
All right.
That is, was a partnership we were doing with the city of Jackson at one of their parks for years, but when Middle Forks came out, the new state park, we saw an opportunity to spotlight that new facility and give them some exposure to an event we've done for years. So we partnered with Kentucky, that's where I'm from, sorry. Tennessee State Parks.
Okay.
And we talked to them, and they wanted to partner with us, so we moved our fishing rodeo out to Middle Forks.
Which is North Three-Way area.
It's in Three-Way, yes, sir. And
So when is this fishing rodeo?
June 20, it's on the back of my flyer, 21st, I believe.
June 7th.
7th. I'm glad I had that, because I would have told everybody wrong.
Oh, it's on the screen right here, right in front of us.
Right on
June the
Didn't even
7th.
look at that.
At the Middle Fork Bottom State Park, all right. What ages?
Pretty much any age, but we have age groups for prizes, 2 to 15.
Is it restricted to fishing poles, or can you cast, or what are the rules?
Do need to bring your own. We might try to have a few for people that don't have them, but that is actually the free fishing day with the state. So
Okay.
we kind of tied in with that. You don't have to have a license that day.
Okay.
We suggest, parents come out because,
Yeah.
we want parental supervision. We'll have a lot of prizes out there for people, and we're going to have special prizes for the biggest fish caught in each age group.
Okay.
So the starting time is?
You ask me all these questions.
8 a.m.
8
Way
a.m.
over my head.
is registration.
All
And then
right.
the rodeo begins at 9.
Okay.
And then judging is at 11. How do they judge this?
Just measure the fish.
Okay.
Yeah,
How
the
many you
biggest
catch,
fish
how much-
Not
wins.
on weight or
How much you
anything?
catch, well, it'll be how much
Or
you
how
weigh.
many
Yeah.
catch?
Yeah,
All-
we'll get oriented. It's
Yeah.
good to have you with us.
Thank you,
Come back and
guys.
see us. Yeah, and that fishing rodeo is coming up June the 7th. We're going to be right back with more as we continue this Six in the City.
A rockabilly force of the 1950s, Jackson's Kenny Parchman recorded at Sun Records starting in 1957. But the Sun roster was crowded, and Kenny's recordings were not released, though they are prominently featured in Sun Record sets today. It was through labels in Jackson, Lou and Jackson, that Kenny hit the 45s. His band included Smoochie Smith, George Sykes, Richard Page, Ronnie Parchman, and others. They still have an international fan following today. A Jackson music note, Kenny Parchman. A water system includes everything from wells to water storage to water lines to treatment, with constant lab testing to ensure water safety. Every 2 years, the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation performs an unannounced on-site audit and evaluation of every facet of a water system. Perfect score, $5.99. In 2024, JEA, for the 4th consecutive inspection, received a $5.99. 8 years of perfect water system scores. That's JEA today.
From time to time, life may throw us a curveball. Even with the best of efforts, maintaining the essentials like utilities can be difficult. With UtiliCare, you can make a donation to help provide utility assistance to families right here in Jackson. Your contribution makes a difference for those families struggling to pay utility bills. Go online to learn more or donate. jaxenergy.com/UtiliCare.
Welcome back to Six in the City. I want to thank all of our guests for being with us today. Yes. And special things continue to go on. Don't forget the AMP launches Friday night with the first concert of the series. Speaking of concerts, George Googe and Tony Burris are with us, community bands. Symphonic Winds and the string orchestra, right? Symphonic Winds is the orchestra, and the swing orchestra.
Right, there's the two
Symphonic Winds.
groups.
Got two groups. May 5th is going to be the concert. It's going to be what time and where, George?
That's right. It's going to be May 5th. That's Monday, the first Monday in May. It's at 7 p.m. at Union University's chapel.
Jim Savage?
Yeah.
Jim Savage Chapel there.
Right.
No admission charge.
No admission charge.
All right.
That's
So
right.
now you can make whatever contribution you'd like to make, and so we look forward to that. So what are we going to hear that night?
Well, the concert is in two parts. The first part of the concert will be our jazz or swing group, something called Swinging into Spring, has some newer stuff as well as the Duke Ellington era. And then our part that I'll let Tony tell you about is called Celebrate America. The Symphonic Winds will present that.
So Celebrate America is all about American music. It's we'll have Sousa marches, Fillmore marches. We'll have all the service marches will be played. It's all American music because I feel like right now, no matter how a person feels, everybody loves America and everybody loves American music. So it's going to be a great concert. Some of the best musicians in Jackson will be on the stage performing with us.
Tony, the Sousa music and all that, was that unique to the United States, or was it happening all over the world? I mean, I know there are bands, but there seemed to be a certain marching style that we did.
The Europeans had marches and different styles of marches, but Sousa was definitely unique in himself, in the marches that he composed. And so American marches are much different than, say, British marches.
That's my impression. I didn't know the music history of that.
Yes.
But it's
Yeah, the community bands, there are some sort of counterparts in Europe and other places, small bands that we see get together in locales.
But community bands were a big part of our history here.
Yes, yes. They have been around just about as long as the country has.
Yes.
There was a time we entertained ourselves rather than be performed for, right? I mean, we had,
That's
we had
right.
a combination of
Gather around a little gazebo and
do
a
something,
park or near a lake and listen to the community band.
Community band and set off that tradition.
Is this the first time y'all have held this concert?
We've been, actually, community band was formed in 1994. Ours was. At Jackson State, we got a home at Union for practicing and most of our performances in around 2000. And we have at least two concerts a year, one in the spring and one in the fall.
You had a Facebook page or?
Yes, we have a Facebook page, Jackson Area Community Bands, and then we also have a website, www.jacbinc.com.
Okay. Google that, Jackson Area Community Bands, right?
Right.
Tony, you've been conducting this how long now?
I've been conducting this group for 5 years. I was actually in the original group back in '94, played with them for a while and then got away from it, came back for a while, got away from it, and then 5 years ago they asked me to become the director, and so I've been at it for about 5 years. But this will be my last concert as conductor. I'm going to go back and play in the percussion section after this.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've had enough of the baton right now. I want to go play again.
And who's conducting the jazz band?
Okay, that's David Kyles.
Okay, David.
Right.
All right. That's coming up May 5th.
That's right.
7 o'clock. No admission charge. GM Savage Chapel there at Union University. It's always a splendid, and you get a real cross-section of styles and music here. Yeah. Appreciate your work here, Don.
Thank you.
Has his successor been named?
No, we haven't named the successor yet.
We'll do that next time we get together.
Okay.
Good to have you both here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks to all of our guests for being with us, and thanks to you for sharing the time here. And we'll see you next week for more Six in the City. We're going to close it out. Here we go. Wrap it up one more time with Midlife Riot.
You're at the party, you beat the party, this isn't me. I'm debating, contemplating, trying not to make a scene. At the gates, can't wait, got my head in a cloud. Situation overwhelms, I wanna speak out loud. When are we leaving? I get my jacket and I'll head out the doorway. Why are we still here? I never wanted to come here anyway. When are we leaving? I get my jacket and I'll head out the doorway. Why are we still here? Heading for the exit, mapped out all our need for extraction, kicking out the doors. The great escape. I'm moving faster, I'm just ahead of you. Staying here was just not something I could do. Well, I guess that's not your fault, that's all. I'm slipping past up, I stole the car keys. Anywhere else is where I'd rather be. Well, I guess that's not your fault, that's all. Let's go! I'm just ahead of you. Staying here is just not something I can do. Well, I guess that's not your fault, that's all. I'm slipping past her, I stole the car